Greetings and salutations, everybody, and welcome to yet another episode in the Quake Aftershock Toolbox playthrough. This time around, we're checking out something that's apparently called Asmo 1_1, which makes it sound like it's going to be like a series. Yeah, it's welcome to Asmo 1_1. The only thing I can really think of with this is that it's like E1M1, and it's some like episodic design. If that's the case, I'm assuming there's going to be another one later on, but who in God's name knows with this stuff? I don't think there was a continuation to the Aftershock Gregory McMartin playthrough levels, so who in God's name knows with these people? It's Shovelware. That's pretty much the point. You have no idea what in God's name you're getting into, and that's part of the fun. Exploring the depths and mysteries of the world! So, alright. Asmo 1_1. Of course, it's called Welcome to Asmo 1_1, but that's basically because that seems to be the part of the course for the Aftershock Toolbox. It seems like the more levels we play, the more I'm going along the lines that it probably was designed in-house. It might not be the case, it might have been like a rename of them all, but it'd be a rather weird renaming. I just can't imagine if they were going to do Shovelware levels, them renaming them all like this. The fact that there's no README files for any of them, it just gives me the vibe that it's something that was designed in-house as like... between this and the fact that it also was released right around the time that the Aftershock Toolbox was released, it just seems like something that belonged with this, something that was designed by the people specifically for this pack. That also seems to be the fact because of how consistent it is. So far we've had a lot of glitches, as in pretty much every level has had things falling through the level on startup, lots of weird balance issues. Yeah, it's been a rather weird one. Last time around we checked out, what was it called? Ambush DM. And Ambush DM is a lot like Dark Hour was, interestingly enough. It had that abstract feeling, which was rather curious to see, coming from people that had nothing to do with Dark Hour at all. But still given this impression that Quake was during an era of abstract design. And so therefore you see around this area, at the start of 3D gaming, it really started focusing a lot more on the abstract. You saw this stuff with Doom and stuff like that, but I don't see it to this type of level. I think it has a lot to do with platforming and the fact of the matter that you would jump to different platforms, and now that it's in a full 3D environment, it just allowed for a whole new form of experimentation. And so you see a lot more environments that feel otherworldly, even more than you would say for Doom, whereby it felt like they were trying to resemble something, but the technology really wasn't there. I mean, they were also trying to make it somewhat efficient to move between areas with mostly corridor-based design and all that, because there was really no real good design and whatnot, plus the fact that the amount of time to develop sprites for all that stuff, and it was mostly made to be a faster-paced shooter. So, yeah, this was kind of that weird era between the older style and trying to make things more realistic, as in, the modern style. And so what you see here is a lot of abstract design, and the curious thing is that it seems like people outside of the official game stuff has made it even more abstract, if that's even possible. To the fact that, yeah, it becomes quite the psychedelic experience. I mean, we're seeing, red flows of lava, and all this other weird stuff for God knows what reason. Anyway, I actually should probably turn up my volume, because otherwise it might sound a little odd and a little bit soft. So, there we are. Yeah, let's actually load this thing up, because I don't really have much more to say, and it's just a level. Yeah, it's a level. I have no idea what else in God's name it's about, so let's, I should actually probably figure out what the name is again, because I've been running with it for so long. As it has an underscore in the name, I am not sure. I think an underscore is fine with... Yeah, it's the tilde key that's the problem. So it's Asmo 1.1, okay. It's a weird name. 1_1. Not Asmo. See, these people make weird names. I mean, so far the weirdest one had to be the first one, ASM Off, because ASM Off is nothing to do with Armadeus. It has, like, nothing to do with the name at all, so I don't understand that one. Asmo1_1, is that what I said? Let's try it again, because this is weird. I come in here, I play it, map, ASMO1_1. Okay, there we are. Oh god, death! Death and pain! Why in God's name did you design it like this? Seriously! This feels like a Q2 thing! You spawn right at the level and you have 2 grunts trying to murder you. Seriously, why in God's name did you think this was a good idea? You know, it was never a thing in the original Quake levels. They made it kind of a point that you'd have that moment of relaxation before the intensity. You know, because things kind of take a moment to usually load up. So, yeah, we already have 32 health. What a brilliant start to this thing. Yeah, I didn't expect hit scan enemies right at the beginning behind my back. Yeah, thanks a lot, game. Anyway, let's see here. We have some armor at least, a way to build back up. Let's see, we have 4 doors. Wait, is it 3 doors? It's 3 doors! 3 doors down. Which one do we go to? Well, this one's oddly enough, like, separated from the other 2 for some reason. I'm not really sure why. Let's check out this one. It's a long corridor. I do not like this. I do not know. What's my other options? Oh god, enforcers! Maybe I should have chosen door number 1. It did involve enforcers. Oh god! Yeah, what have I got myself into? People are trying to murder me everywhere. That's what I've got myself into. So let's see here. We luckily got some ammo down here. That's something, right? Interesting. It's like the torch is here. You know what? This is Fulbright. Oh my god, guys. This is actually even like a fully designed level. This was even designed using like the light function. Yeah, this is actually entirely done in Fulbright. Wow. That is kind of lacking in quality. It's like the same textures that we used in Amadeus. You know, besides the wooden door texture, that's new. But other than that, it's pretty much the exact same textures. And to add insult to injury, it's in Fulbright. Why in God's name did you design this again? Shovelware people. They designed it because it's there. And look at these. This reminds me so much of like Dark Hour. Random fires everywhere. Just with a sense of putting fires in corners. It's like a sense of there being lights, but the lights are totally useless because the entire world's lit up because there are no true lights. Anyway, it's curious that there's like the corridor back there is down here, which leads somewhere else. This is a very confusing level already. It's like, I can say at least, so for one thing, it's non-linear. There's definitely little places to go. Now, the fact of the matter is, where exactly am I going? It's another story. Okay, it looks like we have a corridor down there with 3 doors. Is that another door like at the far end? Yeah, this one has like 3 doors. That one has like 4 doors. Then we have this area here, which leads somewhere else. And this is like the exact opposite side of all that. So, yeah, I'm not sure if those are like closets or what. Well, I guess we gotta start checking out this. I assume it's gonna be a closet of some kind. Oh god! This is a terrible closet. So, yeah, it doesn't look like there's gonna be much health in this level. Yeah, it looks like just death everywhere. Well, that's fun. I mean, when you looked at the start of this level, as usual, look at all this! Look at all this! Look at the number of this! This is a bit insane, people. Just look at the entirety of this. That's how many bonus items have fallen out of the level. And you know what? That's probably all the health packs in the level, too. So, yeah, it's just like Q2. You get to survive by a freaking gauntlet. You know, it's evil in that fashion. That's curious. That's a button of some kind. I did not expect to see a button here. I expect I understood the fashion of this level, now I find a random button. Okay. A keycard? Do we have a locked door in this level? That's a good question. Is there locked doors in this level? But obviously what's going to happen is you're going to press the button, this is going to lower. So I get that much. But I don't know what's unlocked by the keycard. I even think there'd be a locked door in this. I don't even think any of the other levels actually had locked doors. So that's actually rather fascinating. It's very rare that you see a level with a locked door. You know, as much of a novelty as it is in, like, the original game, yeah, it's, like, so rare in here. But yeah, this reminds me so much of, like, Q2 and the fact that it's a lot like Cat's Eye, or something similar, whereby you have, like, a long corridor with a lot of little tiny doorways, a lot of rooms, whereby a lot of it's just repetitive. You kill 2 enemies, you move to the next room, you kill a couple enemies. Okay, what's this? This is weird looking. There's like a barrier in front of this. Okay, so this might be another thing lowered. Definitely curious. I also love the fact that it's like, they didn't even put like the torches on the walls. Like, look at this. The torches even on the wall, people. Great design. These textures aren't really aligned. They're just like wooden wall textures. Yeah, you can tell this wasn't really like well designed. I just love the fact that this is all hit scan opponents, like the entire level so far, it seems. Like, all it seems to be is grunts and a couple enforcers. So, yeah, we have no health, and almost all are hit scan enemies. That's a terrible combination. Well, I guess the good news is the fact that half of them are facing the wall to begin with. Yeah, look at the placement of this stuff. It feels so like Q2 and the fact that it's so slapped together. Why do I hear a teleporter? This is curious. I hear like a teleporter coming from this particular wall area. Maybe there's a way around to this? Regardless, I'm going to have to remember this. I love also the fact that there's like no music in any of these levels. I think like Dark Hour actually hit music in its levels, didn't it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure like half the levels had at least music, and the levels that didn't were because they were corrupt. You know, it wasn't because they didn't actually have no music, it just was wrongly placed music. Here, there's legitimately no music in any of the levels, so that's kind of weird. Oh god, this was a terrible door to open! But how goddamn well is I supposed to know in this maze of doors? Yeah, just like Amadeus, this is somewhat of a maze. You know, it's more of a door maze, but it's still kind of mazy. Every single room is pretty much just a gray room. Until a lot of Wolfenstein or something. All in a horizontal plane, a bunch of gray rooms. Wait, what was the point of coming in here? Game. You just made me cross halfway across the map, and there's nothing here. I'm guessing this is something that fell into the world. Yeah, I'm guessing this is one of those things. You know, there was supposed to be stuff here, but it's no longer here. Guys, that sound annoying. Luckily, it's very rare that something actually is hidden that requires you using the ads. I think, like, if this is made by the original team that made Aftershock, it's actually very likely that they would do it, because the original one was like, what was it? E2M1 pulled something like that? So yeah, if it's original development team, I think I should be more worried. Which is pretty sad. I shouldn't be worried about something like this, but yeah, these are the same people that pulled such a stunt. So, yeah, not exactly the best track record. And I don't think this is exactly better design from that, either. Like, seriously, you made a lot better than this before, if this is you guys. I don't even know if this is, like, the same team, or, like, did they get, like, another outsourced team? Who in God's name knows? We do have that door. Let's see here. What? Is this like a locked door? We gotta find where the locked door is in this place. Has anyone seen the locked door? Oh, look. More floating water. What's it about, like, Dark Hour and now, like, Aftershock here pulling this stuff? Like, I don't know what it is about fluids or, like, floating wall areas, but they really love this type of stuff. So, trying to stay alive here. Not very easy when the fact of the matter is, you don't really get any health anywhere. Okay, now we have to hope this isn't slime, because I cannot tell. You know, you never know half the time what in God's name this stuff is, so... Okay! Well, the answer is it's an elevator! How in God's name was I supposed to think that one? Okay? Wait, what? This elevator is very confusing. It's like you have to move forward, jump back, jump onto it. Okay, that's very weird design, but whatever you say, game. Okay, and we got a bunch of rocket launchers up here. Well, that's convenient. Especially since so far we've been just mostly facing grunts. Hopefully there's actually some reason for it. Oh look, the elevator actually conveniently lowers normally now. Amazing. Okay, I don't like using the rocket launcher in these close confines. Let's see here, I'm trying to see... What is this? Why does it look like it's some type of crusher or something like that? Like it's going to slide down here and kill me. I don't like this, people. I don't like this at all. I still don't know what that key is supposed to open. Okay, long corridors of death everywhere. I don't like this place. Not one bit, so... Okay. What is this? Some wide open area. Okay, there looks like there's a bunch of people. On all these sides. Yeah, this is probably not the safest move. But, not really sure. Okay, let's see what my alternative is, since they haven't been alerted, luckily. Let's see if my alternative's, like, any better. Oh, look! More corridors of death! And pointlessness. Okay. Let's try this one. Wait a minute. How'd that one happen? Okay. Hooray! We found a secret hidden wall! Amazing. That just went around in a giant circle. I wonder if I had started up like a new game if I could just ran down here. But yeah, hidden wall. Totally pointless hidden wall. Hopefully you enjoyed all that, people. Ooh, yellow armor. Well, that's convenient, but I could really use some health, game. You know, you've kind of been chipping me on health the entire time. And why is there a yellow armor and a red armor right next to each other? Like, how does that help anyone? Like, why would you ever choose... That doesn't make any sense. Seriously, who decides to put a yellow armor and a red armor right next to each other? That's where all the armors go? You decide to just designate one area for armors. Really weird design. Okay, so we have this. We have a room next door. And here is more buttons. Okay. Very confusing design now. Like, there's a corridor out here. There's a way out here. Yeah, it's definitely getting a little bit disorienting. Where does this go? It goes to the sound of a teleporter. And, no teleporter. This thing is mocking me. I gotta find where this teleporter is so that way I can stop going crazy. Now, what's this button do? Oh, look! A bunch of buttons! Like, everywhere are buttons now. What's this one do? Let's see. Oh, God! It's a trap! Of course it was. Should have expected something like that from this game, but... Okay, so good news, I got armor. Bad news, I have no health. What weird design, game. Okay, but now I know there's traps everywhere. That was an important lesson to learn, so... Let's see, that opens that. It seems like they're open in the previous room. Except this one has two buttons. Let's see. Oh, that's a knife. Okay, that's a lot easier than hit skin opponents. That's something. Alright. And conveniently, the Ring of Shadows shall allow me to not be ambushed from the other one. So let's use this now. That was easy. Okay, what's behind door number 2? What the? Evil Death Trap! And health! Convenient! Now that I've gotten some ammo, what in God's name is this thing? It's like some weird piping thing. I still know what that key does. Yeah, I just kind of wandered around half the map and I still don't know what the key does. What is this thing? Why do I feel like if I try and stand in the wrong place, it's going to kill me? What the? It looks like a button, but it's a door! I tell you, this game doesn't make sense half the time. And now I just teleported here. Why? What was the point of all that? That like solved none of my problems. Okay, game, I don't know why you just did this. You just sent me all the way over here for like no purpose. But okay. At least I understand what's going on. Let's see here. So we got a bunch of enemies. Looks like a bunch of grunts, which is going to be fun when I have no health. Yeah, I was trying to avoid this game, but you seem to want to push this one. Let's see here. Let's get the super nail gun now and hopefully wipe out as many as I can. Okay, looks like it's some weird maze. Okay, I don't like this because pot-shotting enemies. Let's see here. Let's get back in here. Lure them to the doorway because otherwise they're going to pot-shot me through that window. Stun one. Okay, we stunned the second. There's that one over there. Okay, I think just a melee enemy now, and he's easy enough to deal with. Okay, simple enough. Now we got this giant freaking maze area. Why in God's name does this exist? Something tells me if I wander around here, something will show up. Obviously, we just gotta find our way to the middle of this freaking maze. Let's see here, let's wander around aimlessly. That always helps, right? I mean, there is these rockets. That could probably be the purpose of it. Rockets or just all these shells. There's plenty of shells around here, actually. So, behind door number 2 is more grunts. Of course there are more grunts. Why wouldn't there be? Enforcers! At least they're not grunts, right? Let's see. So we're getting like duos. How many more of these are there? Wait, can I go back? Okay, but it's like hiding walls on me. I don't like this. 3 grunts! It just did multiplication. And then subtracted 1. 3 is an odd number. Okay, all of a sudden the floor changed. Why in God's name did the floor just change? Yo, it's been this gray color the entire freaking map, and now I just heard an ogre. This is interesting. This looks like a world of pain is up ahead. Oh goody. Okay, that was a probably a bad idea on my part, but it did kill everything. I cannot deny the fact that I did wipe out everything violently. But luckily for me, that's a good number of the enemies already dead. See, it's just a lot of these... Wait, what? I found a hidden... Wait, what? There's all these random doorways everywhere. What's going on? Game, what are you doing? Calm down and let me figure out what's going on. That I do not like. What's this way lead to? A staircase! What in God's name is this? This room looks so trippy. It's like floating things on water. I don't even want to know what's going on. Another keycard. Just blow them up. There's so few enemies left that we just want to wipe them out so that way we don't have to deal with them. So it's like we have 9 enemies left and we have a couple health now. Hooray, actual health. For once I'm not scrounging for health. Bad news, there's only like 9 enemies left in the level. I'm still not sure the purpose of all this, but I'm wandering around aimlessly. And hopefully, I shall figure it out. My God, it's like hidden wall behind hidden wall area. Can someone please tell me the point of all this? Guys, there's gotta be a point to this, right? Okay, how many of these are we gonna do? At this rate, we're just gonna wipe out all the enemies on our route here. Or is it expected like a shambler or something threatening? No, more grunts. Okay, but they just gave us cells. Why does this feel like the last enemy is gonna be like a tough enemy? Luckily, we have 62 cells. Oh look, a fiend. Come here, fiend. Oh look, a fiend was too weak to get in through that door. Wait, what? Did we just come all this way for nothing again? Game? Seriously, what is the point of this? Why did I come all the way down here? This game doesn't make much sense. We're just coming down to random areas for the purpose of killing enemies. It feels like Q2 again. Like, we haven't seen this type of pointlessness since the days of Q2. Is there a level exit in this level? And there was a level exit last time, and now I'm kind of confused where I'm going. You know, it's like, now I have to wander around aimlessly. It's like you go back and forth, back and forth. I'm not really sure what the purpose of keycards are. Like, I haven't seen anywhere that the keycards, you know, would open. That's a curious thing. I mean, there is here. But does this, like, leads to a level exit? Or it just leads to a pointless secondary way to here. Why in God's name does all this exist? No idea. I'm not really sure why the yellow keycard exists. I got the yellow keycard! My life is better now! I have no idea what I just accomplished. But, let's see here. Let's go all the way back and get the silver keycard for the purpose of achieving something. Obviously, I'm not really sure what I'm achieving here. I'm not sure these keycards serve any purpose at all within the grand scheme of the level. I'm not sure there's actually a level exit from this level. I'm not really sure there's any point to any of this at all. But, yeah. Let's wander around aimlessly and find something. Let's see. There's a silver keycard somewhere around here. Just need to, like, get through this giant freaking maze that, you know, I expected there to be a reason. But instead, no. No logic whatsoever. It's a full-bright level. What did you really expect? Did you actually expect quality from this thing? Yeah, it really is a borderline Q2 level. Like, really the only thing that prevents it from being a Q2-like level is really the buttons and doors. If it wasn't for that, it would be a Q2 level. So you press this. I think this opens the thing on the opposite side so I can press the opposite button, which lowers the keycard area. So it's like I press this. Now I can return. We head down to this area, and now we get the yellow keycard. Well, silver keycard. What did this achieve? Seriously, what did this achieve? This whole setup, and barely any items in the level because most of them fell out. Let's see here. Let's look up around because at this point I don't even think there's anything more to do. Yeah, that's kind of a problem. But I'm pretty sure it's just like a bunch of square areas. Look at this. It's just all square areas. But, yeah, there's really no way out of the level from what I'm seeing. Like, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm trying to see if there's, like, anything at all I'm missing here. I don't think so. I think this is, you know, I mean, Amadeus showed there can be levels without that stuff. And we have that, which I don't really get either. Huh. That's all I can really say. Huh. And with that in mind, I think this is pretty much everything here. Let's see. Let's actually rip apart the file for a second here and see if, like, there's anything more useful in this file. Because at this point, I'm really, really confused as to what exactly was, you know, the point of this all. Let's see here. Is there, like, a change level function or something like that? Or is this just a random level that's there? It's just a random level that's there. Okay, everyone, so this is a level. That's pretty much all that can really be said about it. Yeah, it's opening random doors, shooting a couple enemies in each monster closet, and pretty much moving on. Hooray, it feels like a Q2 level. Or maybe like Fountain or something like that, if you want to compare it to like Dark Hour. It really is on the inferior side of things. Like, you compare this to Ambush DM, and the quality level is just drastically different. Like, it's weird to think that this was made by the same development team if it was. I mean, there was lighting in the last level. This level was totally done in Fulbright. So, yeah, this one feels like it was heavily slapped together. I'm rather surprised at this one that it was so shoddily done. I mean, I guess you should have expected it out of like shovelware levels, but yeah, really a curious one to see after the expectations of the last level, which definitely were a lot better than this one. But that's beside the point. It's a level, it's things, and I guess the good news is, so far, it looks like we're getting single-player levels, which is definitely a plus when, you know, the regular Aftershock game is mostly just filled with randomness. It's mostly filled with test levels and multiplayer levels. There weren't actually many levels with playability. So, the fact of the matter that these levels actually have something to do is probably a massive improvement. So, yeah, that's how we should look at these. Not just the fact that, you know, it's a lazily slapped together level. No, it's the fact that it actually is a level with content, which is a pretty sad thing to really be praising, but at this point is something that really probably should be mentioned when most of the things that people were focused on at the time were primarily for deathmatch, and thus weren't exactly, like, offering this level of playability. So, yeah, I guess you can embrace some aspects of the shovelware, and this is one reason why I like play so much shovelware. But, yeah, it's still a rather, like, weird thing indeed that it's, like, so shoddily done and whatnot, but that's kind of the nature of shovelware. You get a lot of levels that are, like, slapped together. You know, that's the kind of the whole point. But, regardless, it was experimentation, exploration, and, well, we found ourselves with a rather disappointing shoddy level. But it is playable. And like Q2, this is pretty much exactly where I should probably stand with this issue. It's a lot like Q2, you know, except for the fact that it has doors and switches. So make it slightly more complex, and that's pretty much exactly what my feelings on Q2 were. It's pretty much, you know, you run to room, you kill some enemies, you keep moving along, and is it the best in terms of playability? Not really, no. It's kind of relatively uneventful, and because of the pacing, it just ends up feeling a bit slower paced and less interesting than your average level. The lack of landmarks, the lack of really anything, really kind of doesn't work in its favor. But at the same time, it is playable, and there really isn't anything frustrating thrown into here either. You know, it doesn't have stuff like E2M1 did, or it doesn't even have stuff like Ambush DM did last time. Ambush DM was much better put together of a level, looks a lot more impressive of a level, has plenty of textures and a lot more vivid of a design, but the big flaw with that level is it has severe lag issues. You know, if you're using the original DOS Quake at least, it has severe lag issues, and even using like a GL source port, you end up with something that has a lot of packet overflows. Here, it's something that actually functions. So that is kind of an interesting thing you should probably add. The fact that it's a lot more functional than levels that look a lot more fancy and are a lot more interesting than this. So it kind of, I guess, depends on what you want. Do you want something that's going to be a bit laggy, but after you get past the initial area, it's going to turn into something that's relatively exciting? Or do you want something that's relatively safe to play, but isn't going to be interesting through the entire thing, and is mostly going to be shoot two grunts, move to the next room, shoot two grunts? Yeah, this felt like, with Ambush DM mostly being an Enforcer Fest. Actually, no, it wasn't Ambush DM, was it? Was it Armadeus, I think? I think Armadeus was an Enforcer mess. Yeah, it was. It was all Enforcers in that level. And I think Ambush DM was like that as well. So with that in mind, this seems to be a grunt fest. There was a lot more grunts this time around than anything else. So I guess it's nice to see something being used besides the Enforcer, even though there were some Enforcers still thrown about in the level. And the grunt is pretty much just a weaker Enforcer that has hit scan. But that's beside the point. It's still variety, and that's something to praise. Yeah, I'm really digging for the bottom of the barrel to like try and find compliments for this thing, because it's so easy to basically just say it's kind of shoddy because it is a light, bright level. You know, I mean, I haven't seen like a light, bright level that really has been actually designed for playability. I think there was one or so in Aftershock. I'm trying to remember the name of it, but it basically was like this. Ed Test 1, that was it. It was Ed Test 1, and Ed Test 1 was just a couple rooms slapped together with Light Bright. Now, the difference was, that was mostly just a multiplayer level. There was no single-player component, so if you care about single-player at all, you'd totally overlook that one. And so, in a way, this is actually interesting to note. This is worse than Q2, because Q2 had lighting. Yeah, that's actually an interesting point to note. You know, throughout the entirety of Q2, it didn't have a lot. It was basically one texture bots-like levels. But one thing they did do was include lighting. And that is something that was not included in this level. So you get this weird balance of the fact that they included doors, and add some more complexity, but they didn't add one of the most basic elements to add to your level to make it feel like an actual level as opposed to a test environment thing that doesn't feel like it really belongs. Like this didn't feel definitely as serious as other levels. And really a lot of that's contributed by the lighting more than anything else. So, yeah, that's definitely an intriguing concept. The fact that while it adds things from Q2, it also removes things. And at the end of the day, it ends up feeling a lot like Q2. Kind of like the last level felt like Dark Hour. You know, I would say they were paying homages, but why in God's name would you pay homages to a shovelware level? And two, it was also made kind of closely to each other, to the point that that would pretty much be unlikely. But regardless, it is just a really curious similarity, and the fact that it's almost like copying the different development styles. So, yeah, they're very interesting, very intriguing. And I think that's pretty much about everything I can really ramble about. So with that in mind, people, thank you all for watching, and I guess I'll see you all next time.